Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Chiefs Chargers in Brazil on Friday on YouTube. They're going to give everyone that game for free. They're so generous because the rest of the season they're going to fleece you for all your money.
That's one, Scott. That division to me, based on what's happened to the Chiefs the last couple seasons, that division, the AFC West, could be up for grabs here. I know Chiefs fans think I'm probably out of my mind.
Pharrell, Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I actually like the fact that they went 7 games against a quality opponent here and still had to face adversity even in a game number 7. How are we setting up this next series with a rested Minnesota Timberwolves team taking on OKC fresh from the fight here?
They had an extremely, maybe it's just too short of a statement to say, easier pathway than people thought, particularly because of their size.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on Sports.
And welcome in. It's in-game live game day and a marvelous Monday evening. Scott Wetzel along with Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern time, watching, analyzing, betting on the world of sports. Ah, yes, little NHL Stanley Cup Finals preview, NBA Finals preview, Major League Baseball. We got our Black Clouds, SGPs, 5 on the lines, and our monthly Why Do the Colorado Rockies Suck? And Major League Baseball screws up. We'll get to that as well over the next 2 hours. What's going on, Dave? How are you tonight?
Great. Great to see you. Great to be here on the grid. The Rockies, despite the fact that they only won 4 games in the month of May, 4 games in the month of May. Same amount of time it took them to win 3 games. It took Scotty Scheffler to win 3 tournaments in golf. Impossible. But they're winning tonight. Live dog tonight. Live dog alert. We'll keep an eye on that the rest of the way today. 7 baseball games today. There's a zillion college baseball games today. Not really watching the college baseball. Here on one side of me is the monitor of watching Texas Tech beating Oklahoma. They were plus 150 in the women's softball. I'll keep an eye on that along with the rest of the stuff. The weekend, we discussed that you were absolutely 100% right. And I always give you credit when you're right. The people love to give you credit when you're right. You said the Knicks had no chance, 0 chance of going back to New York for Game 7, which would have been tonight, which we don't have to worry about. The basketball, we can preview that a little bit. Do you think the Thunder are going to win this thing pretty easily?
No. I think they're going to win. But I wouldn't say pretty easily in that I don't maybe think it's going to go a Game 7, but I do think it's going to go a Game 6. I do think they're going to put a scare. I think Indiana wins the first game. Like, I don't think if it ends up being a 4-game series, it's not going to be OKC wins the first 3, they throw away Game 4, and then they win Game 5. So, somehow or another, like after 4, it's going to be a 2-2 series. And then they may win the final 2, but there's going to be a scare. I don't think Oklahoma City is that much better than Indiana. I'm not so sure they are. Listen, the Pacers have the best record in the Eastern Conference since January 1st. Not Boston, not Cleveland. They're unbeatable at home for the most part. You look at the games that they lost, Dave, in the postseason, they only lost games they didn't play well. which I know is simplistic, right? Well, of course. But, there are a lot of games, and a lot of teams will lose games that they play well in. They just don't win. Whereas if you look at the losses, they're all by double digits. They're all like clunkers. So, and they've been able to rebound from those clunkers and win the next game by double digits. They had one game against the Knicks. They lost 106-100. And that was the kind of throwaway up 2 games that Knicks desperate had to win type of situation. So I think they get 2 games, at least 2 games. If you're talking betting, I would grab them plus the 2.5 games because I think they have a chance to win outright.
That's good. The most common bet that I've heard from people in the space and in the business is OKC in 5, so 4-1. Right. So we'll see if that gets there. But that's 5 games, and that we have 5 on the line every single night right here this time. Scott, give the people, please, the 5 on the line.
Time for 5 on the line, the 5 best trends of games going on this evening. So here we go. This game started just 15 minutes ago, and I was really hoping, because there's not that many games tonight, so I was really hoping we could kind of squeeze this one in and have a 0-0 first inning game, but the White Sox are just so bad. So it was Detroit. It is Detroit. Here's why. They're 15-3. Their last 18 games against the White Sox. Probably everybody is, but especially Detroit. They love beating them up. They're up 3-0, unfortunately. So the money line early on was minus 205. Where are we going to go? We'll take Detroit. You want to, lay the 7-1 now. You could do that. I wouldn't necessarily advise you laying 3.5 runs like they're asking you to do on FanDuel anyway. In fact, now it's up to 5.5 runs, minus 108. Yikes! It's only 3-0, fellas. 5.5 runs. Holy fudge! But
the
that was the play.
Enough.
That was. Yeah, they've had enough of the White Sox, right?
The books have had enough of the White Sox in the American League, the Rockies in the National League. I wore the Detroit Tigers stuff tonight. It's a big Old English D on the jersey here and the hat. That. I love this stuff. Yeah, it's pretty sharp. This play is pretty sharp. What's number 4?
All right, number 4, and we count down from 5 down to 1. Dodgers and Metsies. Interesting little series here. You have the Dodgers coming off a big 3-game set against the Stankies. Now they take on the crosstown rival Mets. 14-3, you see it there. Dodgers last 17 home games, including 6 straight overall. So where are we going to go? Mets over 9 against the LA Dodgers.
Kind of like this one, too. The Dodgers had a long series against the Yankees, and now, they took 2 out of 3, but they lost with Yamamoto. The bullpen has a couple guys that were already ruled out, so maybe we get some runs tonight. I think the Mets are a live dog, but I like the over as well. What's number 3?
All right. Number 3, we're going to go to San Francisco, where the Giants taking on the San Diego Padres.
All right. So we got number 3. All right. Number 3 is the Giants and the Padres. And if we could get the graphic up there, because I didn't see it before, this game is a really interesting game with Logan Webb pitching. And it's NL West divisional game. This will be another primetime game tonight. It'll start right when we're getting ready to get off the air. But Logan Webb, over 4.5 Ks tonight. When we get Scott back, we'll hear his reasoning exactly why. But that makes perfect sense to me. That's a good one for number 3. Mr. Wetzel, are you back?
We are back. You know what? We're back so much, we'll keep it on the same game. How about that? Number 2 on our countdown. Welcome to TV 2025. San Francisco, very, very, very quietly, 13-1 under their last 14 games, including 9 straight. So pretty obvious with this one, right? Under 7.5 San Diego at San Francisco.
The market has agreed with you with this play because most books in my odds screen are now at 7 with the juice to the over. Ooh. So if you go under 7, you're getting plus money at most places. Again, another good play. I think it makes sense. It might be a hell of a sweat. This thing might end 4-3.
Yeah. Number 1, we have the coup de grace, creme de la creme, trend of the night. And Colorado's already in action. So Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas, pick a city. No matter where they're playing, they are losing. 1-17 their last 18 games. So best trend play on the board tonight. You got it, right? Minnesota minus 160 at the A's. Minnesota did lose 2 out of 3 to Seattle, but they're playing good ball anyway. 18-6, I think it is, or 18-7 their last 25 games. So Twinkies the play tonight. And we don't miss too often on that number 1 trend play, by the way.
Yeah, the Twins, or the A's are in a free fall. Have lost 17 of their last 18 games dating back to May 14th. And the A's pitchers have allowed 55 runs and 16 homers over 48 innings pitched during the last 6 games. Joe Ryan, 4-0 with a 1.50 ERA in his last 4 starts. That's an easy play.
And I'll throw one more. You know where he's from? Now, I know the game is not in San Francisco, but he's from San Francisco.
Bay Area.
So the game is not in the Bay Area, but, he grew up either rooting for or hating the A's, right? So either way, extra pumped up for Joe Ryan to face the A's tonight.
That looks like a 4-1 tonight. Can we get a 4-1 tonight?
I think so. In-game live, just underway here on the grid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rhythm. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
And welcome back in game live, game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 1, just getting underway here until 10 p.m. Eastern time on this marvelous Monday. Got a few MLB games tonight, Dave. Not the craziest, which I got a little a pet peeve with the MLB today, which if we had time, we'll get to it. And I'm going to make time, that is for sure. Only 7 games today, so... and we have our Why Do the Colorado Suck monthly segment that we do at the top of every month. By the way, they did not hit their 5.5, right? We were talking about win totals. And one of the guys on the podcast said that DraftKings actually does do that now. that they offer monthly win totals for teams, which is pretty cool. So
they do. And this month it was 9.5 for the Rockies.
How are they getting to 10 wins? I've not looked at their
I don't
schedule,
know.
have you? But
I
mean,
looked at their schedule and we went through it today on Boston versus the book. I will be surprised if they get 6. I will be surprised if they get 6 wins. Now, Matt said they won't win 4 again. They'll win 4, which is what they won this month in May. They're going to get over 4. It's going to be close though. Like they got a lot of hard series. So we'll have that segment halfway through the second half here tonight. That's a good segment. We got to summarize though this 5 on the line. Like this that when you look at these 5, we got to look at these again real quick. And I don't know. I mean, the Tigers are already up. That's good. The Twins should win. This looks like this has the potential for a sweep.
Let's hope so. We had 14-6 last week, and we're now 151 and 102 with 1 push. So we're 49 games over 500 doing this stuff. And that's, pat ourselves on the back. We don't have the whole schedule. We come on at 8 o'clock Eastern time. You got a bunch of games that are already underway. And I know I did give out Detroit. That's one of the rare times where I tried to sneak one in just because there weren't any other games. Even threw in a
but that started 15 minutes before. I mean, it wasn't like that started at 4 and they were already up 6-0.
Right.
So we're okay with that. Listen, that's pretty good for finding trends again. You guys, we try to just give you the information. I think the future of the content space, I mean, you have to, if we're going to do what we do, obviously, and bet and try to be involved in this, you want to have more winners than losers, but we're trying to give people the information. The information's been pretty good, Scott. It's been pretty good.
Right. Yeah, you would think so, right? Knock on wood. Hopefully it continues. We hit with our Black Clouds last week, too. We went, I think it was 4-1. We're 20 games over 500, 40-20. So we've been, we give out winners on this show. Again, pat ourselves on the back. So it figures we'll do our Colorado why do you suck situation on a night that maybe they actually win. And there is a remarkable number. Yeah, right. There is a pretty, I don't want to say remarkable because it's not that over the top, but there is an interesting positive Colorado Rockies quirky number that is in play today. I don't want to give it away because it's one of my 10 questions that I ask you, true or false. But the trend does say Rockies tonight. Believe it or not, I actually found a trend that says Colorado could win, and they're leading 5-4. It's pick 'em. It's only bottom of the 6th inning. I don't know if I would necessarily play it, but there is a quirky thing, and it's not like the Rockies are great on Mondays type of thing.
Well, I have this.
They're picking right now.
So I have this ready, for the Rocky segment, but I'll give it to you now just to kind of chew on until we get to that segment. The Rockies reached 50 losses in the fewest games in over 140 years of baseball. Okay. They've had 4 8-game losing streaks this year. Okay. But they've never lost the 9th game. Tonight would be the 9th. That is yours, tattoo.
That was the one.
Oh, baby. Okay.
In fact, the Rockies have been bad, Dave, right? They've been bad for a long time. If they were to lose tonight, this would be their first 9-game losing streak of this century. They've not. I went back and I looked it up.
Wow.
They were awful last year. Didn't lose 9 in a row. They hit, you said it, 4 times? They would hit that 8-game losing streak, and somehow or another they would win. And then they'd lose 6, 7 more. But, I went back to 2020, and that was the COVID year or the strike year, whatever the heck it was, COVID year. They had not lost more than 8 in a row. And they're winning tonight, which would be, loss number 9 for the first time in at least, 6 seasons. So
that's a strange, That's a strange trend. The other thing that was strange was looking at the price of the Marlins tonight. I mean, the Rockies are playing in Miami tonight. The Marlins are -195, -200. I can't remember the last time we had to get the research department on when the last time the Miami Marlins were -200. It had to be a few years ago when Alcantara was rolling and they were home against somebody that had, some tough losses. But it's been a couple years since the Marlins have been -200 over anybody. So interesting night. I mean, we can make, a bunch of light of different things, and there's plays all over the board. Milwaukee's playing the best baseball probably in baseball right now, right? They've won 7 straight. They own the Reds. 17 of the last 21 they've won at Great American Ballpark. There's 14-4 to the under in the last 18 road games. The Reds can't score. It's already 3-2 Milwaukee. That's a good trend. There's a lot of stuff on the board tonight.
Yeah. How about them going into Philadelphia, beating the Phillies 3 in a row? I had Philadelphia game 1, and then I realized, okay, now Milwaukee's won 5 in a row. They get a little mojo. So I didn't bet Philadelphia. I was tempted to Saturday, and I was really tempted again on Sunday. But they ended up going in there and they sweep it. And they beat 2 of the better pitchers, Suarez and then who was the other guy they beat up?
Luzardo.
Luzardo. Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
So it's not like they beat the back end of their starting rotation either.
No. The other game tonight, I got to mention, it's your Red Sox. Did you see what the Angels are doing? I mean, your guy Mike Trout went deep.
Yeah.
How about that?
He's got a couple hits. They booed the Red Sox first inning. First inning,
What?
I was reading on Twitter, if Twitter's right. Yeah. Well, they gave up 6 runs in the first. So I can see why they were getting booed. I mean, before these people, were sitting down, they were already, up 6-0. I mean,
jeez.
They're not going to fire Cora, but this would be one of those fire the manager situations. But he's not going to fire. Black SGP coming up next.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom, it's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those 2 teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Third segment, hour number 1. You know what time it is. SGP same game parlay time. All right, limited schedule, so not a lot to choose from, but still, I do like this game. We're going to head out west and take on San Francisco versus San Diego, and I like the Giants. They're at home. They're playing the better baseball. Padres, they did take 2 out of 3 against Pittsburgh over the weekend, but they struggled. They were trailing The one game, it was only 3-2. The other game, they had to rally from 4-0 down. So give me San Fran with Logan Webb, especially on the hill at home. This guy's unbeatable if you look at his numbers at home. Even dating back to last season, he's terrific at home. Good overall, but especially so at home. So give me San Francisco minus the 174. We're going to bump his strikeout props up to 6, plus 124. He's hit 5 or more in every one of his starts, so we're going to go just up it just a little bit with the Padres, struggling a little bit at the bat. Let's go Ramos to get 1 hit. He's their leadoff hitter at minus 270. He's going to get up, I would think, certainly 4, if not 5 times tonight. Chances are pretty good he's going to get a hit. And then we'll go Wilmer Flores, an RBI. He actually leads the Giants in RBIs, this Flores, the former Met. 1 RBI is plus 180. For a guy who leads the team in RBIs. Where do I sign up for that? Add it all up, and it's I think it's halfway decent, 7-1 over 7-1 payout. I got a monster favorite in the baseball game. I got a big favorite with Ramos getting 1 hit, and I got a couple of dogs there. But I'm surprised it came out this high, but I'll take it for sure.
It's not bad, actually. The Giants have lost 5 of their last 9, but they were on the road. They come home, get Webb. That's fine. Their bullpen has been great. Their bullpen has a .95 ERA in the last 9 games. They lead Major League Baseball with a 2.42 bullpen ERA. That's a good thing. So if we can get a lead with Webb and get him out of there, hand it to the bullpen, that's good. And then it's funny you mentioned Ramos, because I have a stat here. In his last 22 games, he's hitting .388, slashing .449, .635. That's 33 for 85 with 5 homers and 17 ribbies. Just get a hit tonight, minus 270. Yeah. That seems like that would work.
Seems easy enough, right?
Yeah, this got a good shot. This will be good. This will give us a sweat after the show. We'll be watching this one tonight.
Yeah. Giants 17-9 at home, and the Padres only 13-14 on the road. So throw those into the equation as well. A little juicy, but that's why you put them in a parlay. So
and then the other thing here I have. Kolek has allowed 15 runs, 14 of them earned, in 16 1/3 innings pitched over his last 3 outings. That's a 7.71 ERA, Scott. So you can get an early lead, maybe first 5 if you want to add something else in there. The Webb strikeouts, do you ever feel like when you do that and you move it up to get the plus that you're tempting the gambling gods a little bit there?
A little bit, and we'll talk more about that in the Black Cloud segment coming up in about a half hour.
Okay.
Little hint on that one. So didn't like the Tigers tonight, right? But I played. Don't ask why. I had a drug test. I played the White Sox over the weekend against Baltimore, figuring that they got to win one game because the Orioles were monster favorites. They were like minus 170, 180 in every one of those games. And they have, basically heading into that series, identical records. So I figured they're going to win at least one. And they got whacked in all 3. Not that they lost by big, but they lost all 3. So that's one of the reasons why I like Detroit tonight. It's almost unbettable now. But I would bet them tomorrow, and without even knowing the pitching matchups, the Orioles don't lose to the White Sox. This is right around the time last year, Dave, where the White Sox kind of became the Chicago White Sox. They were halfway decent for the first month and a half. In fact, I think they had the identical records, 15 and 28 or something goofy like that. And then that's where they just lost games. So same might be happening here. They lost 6 of 7.
Wow. I'm with you. Over the weekend, I thought the same thing. It was one of those situations where, when you make the number between 2 bad teams, how do you make somebody a big favorite? You really can't.
Right.
So you look at the Orioles and you go, okay, maybe make them small. Maybe take the White Sox on the run line, keep it close, lose by 1. All 3 games, they lost by 2 or more.
Yeah.
They didn't cover the run line, right? On any of the 3 games. It was ridiculous.
Nope. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Can't hit. This team just can't hit. It's just wow. Unbelievable. So yeah, it was a good weekend and a rough weekend for me.
Yeah.
Kind of a mixed. So quick little break. Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, got some winners for us tonight. We'll check them out when we return.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Lost Pages. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Thomas, like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those two teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number one. We got a little baseball to break into, so let's welcome in our good buddy, Jeff Dawson, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com for all his plays, EastCoastSportsInvestors.com. From what I was reading, Jeff, on Twitter, boo birds already at Fenway Park for our beloved Red Sox, who gave up 6 runs in the first inning to the god-awful Angels. They trail now 6-1. Devers, apparently, I was reading it or heard that he actually took some ground balls at first base today. So maybe that's a positive sign. But otherwise, nothing else is positive for our Red Sox tonight.
My headline on my show was this morning was, can the Red Sox, I used Fitz, give the Angel Fitz, because Richard Fitz was starting. But Mr. Fitz hit the showers. All right, listen, this is a team in absolute turmoil. It started in spring training when Devers got all upset because his third base was taken away. Since then, Cora's just a shell of himself. I think he really having a problem with Breslow and upstairs. They lose Cassis at first. He won't go to first. Then they lose Bregman. He won't go back to third. He's making over $300 million. I'm going to just go on record here, guys. I think Cora wants out. He got the extension last year, and no one believed that he got the extension. This is just a job. It's not his life. He's made it clear. He wants to go upstairs. It's a team definitely underperforming. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a move maybe at the All-Star break if things don't shake up, guys.
Wow. All right, we'll keep that one, boys. Keep that one in the back pocket. If anything happens, we can say Jeff Dawson told us here first on In-Game Live Game Day. JD, big games over the weekend. There were some big series and stuff. Yankees and the Dodgers were the headliners over the weekend. There was a couple blowout games. Now the Mets come to Chavez Ravine. Interesting number today. Interesting pitching matchup. Any thoughts on Mets, Dodgers, side total, props, anything you got?
Opened at 9, now 9.5. Dodgers overnight 150, now 152. I think the value here is actually on the Mets and Blackburn. I like them as a plus 136 today. I would lean to the over here. First 1 to 5 probably wins this one. I had the team total here, guys, for the Miracle Mets at 4.5 under. I have them over 4.5 plus 110 as well. May's been pitching okay for the Dodgers, Carrot Top. But again, the Yankees leave town. Good rivalry here. I lean the dog here. I think the Mets had a puncher's chance, so I kind of split it up here. Took the plus 136, and I took the plus 110 for them to get over 4.5 runs as well, guys.
All right. How about the other game? This is a night, keep in mind, Jeff, that right now, anyway, Colorado is winning. So maybe it's just one of those goofy nights. A's have lost 17 of 18. You want to put American money on Oakland, Sacramento tonight?
You know, I can say May for the MLB was brutal, guys. When you had a pitch and edge that you thought you dove into it, first 5 minus the hook, run lines, and these guys came out of nowhere. And I'm looking at this. It's Joe Ryan Day. Joe Ryan's been pitching great. Minnesota's having a hard time scoring here. The whole world seems to be on Minnesota run line here. Their team totals 5.5, juiced under minus 130. I'm going to get cute here, boys. I'm not going to say the A's win or lose. What I am going to say, though, is they get over 3.5 runs today. I like them over to 3.5 runs. It's a little juiced. It's minus 130 here, but just get to 4, guys. Let's roll the ball out. Let's score some runs. Let's have some fun here. And if they lose, well, hopefully they score at least 4 runs, guys.
Okay. The other NL West matchup tonight. You got the Padres, who took 2 or 3 from the Pirates, like Scott said before, and didn't look great doing it. You got the Giants at home off of a 9-game road trip where they lost 5. They're home with Logan Webb, though, and the juice is real. The total is real. Anything here? I mean, it feels like an under. We got it in the same game parlay, a lot of things like that. What do you say, JD?
It's June. So it's a new month, guys. So I'm going to go back to the well here. I'm not laying the money line. I'm not going to get cute here. I'm not going to worry about the Bridges, the bullpen. We have a pitching edge here. Webb versus Kolick. I have San Francisco minus a half run, first 5 at the circa right now, minus 132. So I'm laying 32 cents to say that after 5, the Giants will be winning by 1 or more, and then we get out of Dodge.
that might be the best way to go. All right. How about let's talk a little NBA. Where are we going? I like Indiana. I think Dave's leaning towards OKC. Don't want to put words in his mouth. But where are you siding, Jeff?
I don't want to sound like a square here. This OKC, I think when the dust settles and you look back is, I'm not calling them one of the great teams, the 86 Celtics or the Jordan teams or something. This team is special, though. Their defense, I haven't seen a team that just keeps coming and coming and coming. And I know the Pacers are going to want to score. They're going to want to have a fast-paced game. I think that will play right into the OKC here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers stole one, whether it's game 1 or 2 in OKC, and that's it. I got a gentleman's sweep here. I got OKC in 5. I think the Pacers steal one game, and then it's a wrap. OKC was knocking on the door last year. The Mavericks came in and upset them and eventually went and lost to the Celtics. I think it's OK's years. SGA, Holmgren. This is a special team, and they're hungry. Minus 700, Dave. I mean, when's the last time we saw one of these in an NBA championship?
It's absurd. Anyone that's been this much of a favorite or close to this, the favorite always wins. Whether it takes 5, 6, I'd be highly surprised if it goes 7. But I think 5 or 6 is the right number. I got to ask you about the hockey, though, because we get hockey on Wednesday. Okay. Florida-Edmonton rematch. Edmonton small favorite. Edmonton home ice. McDavid finally. Skinner finally. Like, I'm that guy that says until I see it, I think the champ is still the champ. What do you like in the hockey? Just the general idea.
Well, we remember last year the Panthers won the first 3 games. The series was over, and then miraculously we got to a game 7. Florida wins the cup. Connor McDavid wins the Conn Smythe. This is almost like a Hollywood setup here. I like the Oilers. I really do. I think, again, Florida will take 1 or 2 in Edmonton. Edmonton's been playing from behind the whole time. big lead against 3-1 lead against Dallas in the third period of the first game, and Dallas scored 5. We know Bob has the advantage over Skinner here. I like the Oilers. I like them to break the Canada jinx. I like McDavid to win the Conn Smythe. I got Oilers in 6 right now, and I threw Draisaitl plus 750 as a potential Conn Smythe, and then I got Stuart Skinner, pizza and beer money at plus 5,000. If he ever wins it, Dave, Scotty, I'm going to stop and see Scotty in New York City, and then I'm going to fly out, Dave, and I'm going to take you out for an omelet if Skinner wins the Conn Smythe.
Sweet. All right. How about this? If you like Edmonton, FanDuel, Jeff is saying, will they score 25 goals or more? Now, you think it's going to go 6. So let's say it does go 6. So 25 is a lot of goals, 25. But 850 plus 850. Can they get to 25?
Wow, that is a huge number.
Really?
I mean,
that's a lot.
I mean, plus 850.
If it goes 7, it's not that much.
No, so you're averaging 3.5 at 7. 6, you're going to be averaging just over 4. At plus 850, it's definitely worth some pizza and beer.
Yeah. Remember, they scored 8 in game 4. So you need one of those crazy blowout games. So, yeah, check out his website, eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. Good job, Jeff. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom, it's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those 2 teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 1. Got a couple baseball games. We'll delve back into the hockey just to recap the baseball. Colorado still leading. Take a picture of this because you're not going to see this too often. Colorado is minus 260. Top of the 8th inning, leading Miami. Yeah, right, 5-4.
Wow.
You want to talk about a live dog. I know the Marlins are the Marlins, but plus 2-1 with 2 at-bats left against that Rockies bullpen. That's a flyer, folks. Milwaukee 3-2 over the Reds, and then the Red Sox scored a run. They actually got a couple of runners on. Maybe the Red Sox making a comeback here, down 6-2 against the Angels, plus 215. So here's one team. It's kind of weird. Red Sox, well, they just locked it up, so maybe there's something going on. I was going to say the Red Sox down 4 runs is basically the same price as the Marlins down 1 run. Obviously, it's the 8th inning and the 5th inning. That plays a role, I imagine, Dave, right?
Of course it does. But we need to focus right now because we put in the time. This is the Rockies segment.
You got to get this in. We'll do it next at 9:30 when we have more time.
Next hour? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Because then we got the Black Cloud coming up. It might take a little time. So, and we got to give kudos to the Rockies. We don't want to jinx the Rockies and say how bad they are, and then they actually lose the game.
Good point.
So maybe tonight. Do want to throw some hockey though at you. So
go ahead. Let's go. Let's do it. Come on.
All right. We'll start at the top. I like Florida in a series to win, and I like Florida to win in 6. If they were at home for game 5, I might say Florida in 5. I really don't think it's going to be as close as everyone is saying. I hope I'm wrong without really having a dog in a fight. I just think Florida's the much better team. I think Connor McDavid is the most overrated hockey player. He's not quite Mike Trout, but I don't care about his dopey assists. So give me Florida. I think they're the deeper team. They get the better goaltender. Stuart Skinner sucks. He's going to go back to being Stuart Skinner, and Florida wins in 6.
Oh, my goodness. I need to put my listening glasses on for all of this. You fired out a bunch of different things there. I will say this. The views expressed about Connor McDavid are from Scott Wetzel and Scott Wetzel alone right here on In-Game Live Game Day. I think Connor McDavid is one of the best 5 players to play hockey at this point. I put him up there with Gretzky, Lemieux, those guys. He gets a cup. No, he's skill. Listen, the skill-wise, he's the best skater. He makes guys better. He has Draisaitl, like Gretzky had Curry. Everything is there for them to win. Okay, we'll see if they get the goaltending. Now that's the thing that for me I'm most worried about for Edmonton. I think the series is going to be a long series. I think they're each going to win on each other's home ice in the first 4. I think it'll end up 2-2 after 4, and then we'll take our chances. Though, like I just was saying before in the last segment with Dawson, I like Florida. I do. I just think Bobrovsky has done it. Skinner hasn't. Florida has done it. Florida, to me, I don't know if they're that much better of a team, but they're deeper. Although this is the deepest team Edmonton has had. They're really running 3 lines strong, pretty good. So physicality may end up deciding it. I like Florida as well. What are these props, though? You came up with some props for this?
Yep. All right, let me throw some at you. How about hat trick by anybody, plus 155? I'm thinking 2 goals and an empty netter. Not necessarily 3 in real play, but the way we see these empty netters, and McDavid and Draisaitl will be on the ice from Edmonton's standpoint at the end of the game. So I'm leaning kind of a little bit more towards Edmonton than I am Florida, but plus 155 series is going to go at least 6, I would think.
Okay. Got a shot.
I wish it was higher.
I think that should be a little bit higher. I want more. I want more with the hat trick prop. What is this 3+ goals every game? How are there not going to be 3+ goals every game?
We'll get to that. Don't rush. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Total goals in a series. We'll get to it. Over or under 35.5.
Total goals in a series. 35.5. If you get 5 per game, that's 6 games.
It's 25.
It's 30.5.
But 6 goals a game. You got to get 1-2-1
5
game.
goals a game, 6 games. So what's the number? 35.5?
Yeah.
Under.
I like the over. That is funny.
Okay.
I'm thinking over. If let's say it goes 6 games. 6 times 6, 36. You're not going to get 6 goals. I think there's a better chance of you might get a 2-1, 3-1 game.
Yeah.
But I think there's a better chance of getting a 5-4, 6-4 game, especially with these goofy empty netters to compensate.
And you might get 2. You might get 2 of those.
Right.
So that'll cover the 2 lower scoring games. So yeah, that's not a bad play. I mean, that's a pretty good number. What's the juice on that?
Minus 110. Yeah,
That's a good
over or
number.
under.
Hat tip the odds makers on that one. What else you got?
All right. Depending on which team you'd like to win the series, Florida or Edmonton, 25 goals. I'll throw the one out that we threw out, Jeff. They're both right around plus 850. Plus Florida's plus 880. Edmonton is plus 850. Can one of those two teams get 25 goals? Is it worth a shot?
It seems like a lot, but I mean, at 8-1,
yeah.
At 8-1, you get one little, one game where one of them gets 6, and you're really ahead of pace. I mean, the answer is the quick answer is no, but I mean, if you want to take a shot at plus 800, plus 850, it's not a bad shot to take.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 3. All right, here we go. 3 goals, and then they offer 4 goals. 3 goals in every game. That's combined, both teams, minus 490. I don't need to remind you, the last time we had a nearly 5-1 seemingly absolute lock bet, thank you, Boston Celtics, that did not come through for us. Yeah. Or 4 goals plus 134.
3 goals every game's winning. 3 goals every game's winning.
Right.
There's no way that's not winning. Yeah, 3 plus goals, so you get 3's a winner. That's winning.
3's a winner.
4 goals every game is going to be close. I mean, that could win too.
Yeah. I'm surprised they gave you juice with that. Plus 134 with 4 goals.
I know.
Right? Yeah. I mean, even a shutout could be 4-0, the way they pull the goalie. We got a few more. We got the Black Cloud play of the day coming up next.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Thomas. Like, you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those 2 teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Closing out hour number 1. Boy, we are cruising along. A lot to get to still, including our Black Cloud Play of the Day. All right, this is a good one. Not that others are bad. We are now 40-20 after going 4-1 last week with our Black Cloud. So we're 20 games over 500. But what have we done for it lately? That's the question for tonight. Going to head out to San Francisco. Giants and Padres again. One of the legs we gave you in our SGP. Logan Webb, you see him there, 4.5. Little juice, minus 155. I know I put it in. Then I saw it later in the day up to 160. I'll double check here, Dave. Maybe you can double check as I run through this stuff, what it is right now. But it was still 4.5, and that's a little surprising. Why? Because the guy has had 5 strikeouts, right? That's our magic number. He's had 5 strikeouts. He's had 12 starts this year. He's had 5 or more in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How about 11 of his 12 starts this season? He's had 5 or more. Going back to last year, 15-4, his last 19 starts last season, he's had 5 or more. Added together, that is 26-5, his last 31 starts, Dave. Now, as you know, better than anyone, there's always a caveat. There's always, well, why are they giving us 4.5, Scott? It's because the Padres, the team is facing tonight, number 1 least strikeout team in all of baseball.
In
They're
baseball.
at rock bottom. So that's why it's 4.5. But you know what? Over the last year and change, he's faced a lot of good non-strikeout teams, and he's hit that number. He's at home where he pitches as good as he is. He pitches even better at home. Give me over 4.5 strikeouts minus the juice, Logan Webb tonight as our Black Cloud player today. Can't miss, rather.
As it currently sits on FanDuel, it is minus 152 to the over. So as an odds maker and a guy in a book, like me personally, if it was our joint, we'd have 5. I'm good with pushing. I don't need to give you a free shot on 5 winning. It's not really a free shot because you're laying 152, but I don't know. Unless he gets, hit early and doesn't pitch 5 innings, I think he's getting 5 strikeouts. So, again, I don't want to jinx the Black Cloud play of the night, but my goodness, Scott, this is pretty good. And the Black Cloud play of the night has been pretty good here on In-Game Live with us. So, if you guys are watching anywhere particular, let us know what you think of the Black Cloud play of the night. I'm curious. Hit up at Opposite Picks, at Sports Beat Cake and Sig for me. Tag SportsGrid. Let them know you're watching. This is good. This is and
I'll tell you,
that's a pretty good play.
This is why I put him in the adjusted line one in the parlay at 6, because if you look at his strikeouts, like he's not getting 5. I'll run them down here real quickly. 10 his last outing. He did have 5 and then 4, 9, 6, 6, 6, 12, a 5, 10, 6, and another 5. So it's only been 5 just a couple times. For the most part, it's been 6 or higher.
5, yeah. Wow. Okay.
So I just, the Royals aren't a good strikeout team as far as, a lot of strikeouts. He got 5 against them. Oh, by the way, I didn't even realize this. I forgot about this. He faced the Padres before. He had 6.
So I was going to say he had 6. Yeah, he did early in the season. I have that here in my notes as well. So that's good. If the game goes under, it's probably a competitive game. They're going to use him to go at least 6, ideally into the 7th. There you go. That's a good play. The Brewers are leading the Reds, by the way, 3-2, end of 6. The Red Sox have got back into the game against the Angels. You see that 7-5 now, top of 6.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good call to wear the Tiger stuff tonight, I got to say. 8-0 in the 4th against the White Sox.
Jack Morris.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Jack Morris, right?
It's actually a Gibby jersey. It's a 23, Kirk Gibson on the back.
Okay.
But it's this Old English D is just fantastic. I love this thing. So you don't see that too often. I think it was the batting practice jersey, but whatever it was, I never had one before. The Tigers was something I never had before. And I'm going back when they were, good. Alan Trammell and what was the second baseman's name? Whitaker. Lou Whitaker. Yeah, I love that double play combination. Yeah.
How about, speaking of double play combinations, how about a Tigers-Detroit Lions World Series Super Bowl parlay? Because it be the city of Detroit's year? Maybe?
Oh, nobody's ready for that. Nobody's ready for that.
We can't have that. George Kurtz coming up next year on the Grid.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom. It's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those two teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the Grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott and Dave until 10 p.m. Eastern time. Then it's Cam and Gabe taking over for the next 2 on SportsGrid Radio and SportsGrid TV. They'll have a few more baseball games to keep an eye on. We got a couple, and obviously we have the Stanley Cup beginning on Wednesday. Let's talk to our good buddy George Kurtz to break it all down. SportsGrid Radio host you see in here all the time here on the Grid. What's going on, George? How are you tonight, bud?
Doing well, right? Yankees win last night, salvage a game for me there. Sort of the calm before the storm, right? We only got 7 baseball games tonight before. Big slate tomorrow, then the NBA championship, the NHL Stanley Cup, and I guess the rest of the week really heats up.
Yeah, man. We just discussed a little bit with Dawson before, a couple segments ago, about the Stanley Cup. I know you're a hockey guy. It seems really like a dead even series, obviously, with the numbers say it is as far as the odds. But, I mean, there's a disparity between what people think. George, are you over the edge one way or the other where you think, oh, this is definitely going to go Edmonton's way, or no, it's Florida's cup and they're going to defend it? What do you think happens as far as the series goes?
Now, I'm picking Edmonton in 6. All right, so let's have that. Do I think it's an absolute? Okay. No. If you're going to tell me, Dave, that hey, you can see the future Florida wins in 6 or 7, I'm not surprised. I would be surprised if either team sweeps the other, or probably even a 5-game series. After that, I can see it going either way. I've just been really impressed, Dave, with how Edmonton has changed their game. They're no longer that skill finesse team. They have that, but they're willing to do the dirty stuff now. That you have to, and you need to do it a 7-game series here, especially against Florida, who you know is going to do the dirty stuff, right? That's how they play their game. They know they don't have the skill and finesse of a lot of teams out there. So I like the Oilers. I also wonder, do you need to lose first before you can win? It's what the Panthers did, right? They lost to Vegas, then they won. Mm-hmm. And when the Oilers say they lose to the Panthers, then they won. So to learn how to win here, I think McDavid is going to take this series over. I think he knows this will cement his legacy as one of the best NHL players ever, maybe the best when it's all and done here. Needs a cup, probably needs more than one cup for that. But this is one that I think he's going to get here. My only worry would be Skinner, who's played great. I was going to do the Simpson Skinner there, but I decided not to. But Bobrovsky, we know, can do it, right? And he probably will play well. So can Skinner continue playing the way he's been playing? Or maybe even a little less is okay because he was fantastic against Dallas. But can he be that guy? Can he? I don't know if I just trust him, Dave, to do it again. That's my biggest worry for Edmonton will be Skinner here. Having Evander Kane back, by the way, will be a huge thing for Edmonton, who didn't really have him last year because he's that guy who can match all of Florida's nastiness.
All right, let me. You're a good hockey guy. Well, what's the benchmark for a real hockey player, George? Home runs, it's 500. Baseball, it's batting 300. Pitchers, 300 games. For a season for a player, 50 goals, I think, is like the benchmark, right? So your boy, you're drinking the same Kool-Aid as Mr. Sharapan there to you. Your boy Connor McDavid, how many times he scored 50 goals in a season? One stinking time. 1 year. He's like the most overrated player. Not quite Mike Trout, like I said. I won't go that far with him. He's a good player, but I don't care if he gets 5,000 assists. He scored 50 goals one time. Ovechkin does that in his sleep. He's not that good. And he doesn't have a cup after 5,000 seasons in the league. And I'm surprised you think out of all the seasons, all of a sudden it's going to flip and is finally going to win this year.
And there's not a person in hockey who would take Ovechkin over McDavid. Not a person. Because all Ovechkin does is score goals. That's it. That's all
That's
Ovechkin
it.
does.
Just score goals. Yeah, who wants someone who just scores goals?
Why do you think Draisaitl scores 50 goals? Why do you think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins score goals or Zach Hyman scores goals? Because there's 17 guys covering McDavid, and they're not worried about this. McDavid had one-on-one coverage, he would blow by everybody. He's a fantastic player here. And to answer your question, by the way, 50 goals would not be my benchmark. All right, I would let have somebody gets 35 goals and 100 points easily. All right, he's making the team better than somebody who gets 50 goals and 80 points. That's 20 more goals you're responsible for. 20 more.
Yeah.
And by the way,
it's a different time.
Also a big part of it. And by the way, I love Alexander Ovechkin, who, for my money, is the best goal scorer in NHL history. But there are many, many players that would take over him, including McDavid, including Sidney Crosby. They're just better overall players than him. But remember, Ovechkin also gets a really good percentage of his goals on the power play. All right? Something to consider there. 5-on-5, not as good as player.
George, Scott had some props for the Stanley Cup. A long list of props. Vinny, if you can find that graphic, that'd be great. I'd like to pop that back up here because there's a couple on there. Aren't there going to be 3 goals scored in every game? Like that one feels like the biggest bunny layup ever. Now the price is minus 480, so it's significantly expensive. But I mean, if you lay 480 and they play 6 games and there's at least 3 goals in every game, you win. I don't see. Is there a shutout in store for the Stanley Cup? And if there is, the other team doesn't score 3 goals. I don't think that bet loses.
I can't see Florida shutting out Edmonton. All right, too much stuff there. Could Skinner have a game? Sure, we've seen Florida throw some eggs, right? Put up some, they didn't play very well, so I can sort of see that. Don't get me wrong, I like the bet. I mean, I don't think there's less than 3 goals in a game. And as you said, even if Skinner does, it could be a 4-0 game, 5-0. So I would say it comes true here. But if I was to worry about a shutout, even though I think Bobrovsky is the much better goaltender, it would probably be a Skinner. Flores has a dud, lays an egg, and there you go. Skinner got a 3-0 shutout, which would just screw everybody.
Right. For the record, last year you did have 2 3-goal games, 3-0, and then the final 2-1. But those are 3, so the bet hit. I even like the 4 at plus money. I think you're going to get 4 goals. The way we've seen some of these empty netters click in. How about Edmonton, George, getting 25 goals at plus 850? It's a big number, 25. It's a lot of goals, but if it goes 7 games, now you're only talking, 4.5 goals or 3.5 goals a game if you can get it to 7.
Now 6 is the most popular, and that's over 4 goals a game. But it also means they lost a couple of games, right, to get to 6. which case they probably only scored 2 or 3. So you probably took a 5 goal. I can't take that. No, you're going to have to, like you said, Scotty, you're going to need to go to 7 games. 7 games, you're probably a winner. All right. I would think you're going to cash that. But if it's 6 or less, I don't think you have Snowball's chance here. No, I'm not going to go with that. Just it's a lot to ask for a series to go 7 games.
I will tell you this, guys. I will tell you this. They scored 23 last year, and that was 1 with a shutout and 1 with only 1 goal. In fact, 2 with 1 goal. And they still scored 23 last season, thanks to 8.
Could happen again this year.
It could. Listen, George, we talk hockey, all the time. You're a baseball guy too. The Yankees salvaged a series, getting 1 last night. That was good. Now it's Mets Dodgers tonight. What do you expect tonight? It seems a little juicy. Dodgers laying that price. Any interest in the Mets? We kind of become a Mets show here. The total, anything tonight with this one?
I do wonder if the Dodgers have a little bit of a letdown at facing the Yankees. I know it's the Mets, another New York team, and they played in the NLCS last year. No bets tonight. No Will Smith tonight. Yeah, I'm kind of on the Mets here to maybe pull this one off here because I think they're a pretty angry team too that wants to make a statement. Give me the Mets.
Wow. Paul Blackburn coming off the DL. That's an instant go against. I think. George. Yeah. I don't. Good job, George. By the way, Connor McDavid, 14 points. If he's so great, is he going to set the record, get that plus 610?
No. Come on.
Oh, not that close, then. Not that close.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2. Thanks again, George Kurtz. You see it here all the time right here on the grid. Let me throw a couple of interesting quirks I ran across today, Dave. And you let me know which one impresses you more. One, as we were telling with George, with that 25 goals or more, 8.5 to 1 with either Florida or Edmonton. Now, Edmonton loses the series, but they did score 22. And that was with no goals in one game and two 1-goal games. So they got 2 goals in a combined 3 games, and they still nearly got to 25. And then I was looking at Florida's number, and actually Florida winning the series was outscored 22-18 by Edmonton because thanks to 8 to 1. So I think that 25 goals by both teams or by one of the 2 teams, I think you got a shot there. Because you generally get an egg thrown in there. Like you said, the 8 goals, these empty netters, these goal games are all going over, right?
Well,
I think at 8.5 to 1, it's worth a shot.
I was going to say the difference now is the empty netters and the aggressiveness of pulling the goalies, and the just inability for anyone on the team that gets the score against them to even care. So like they keep the goalie out and you get multiple empty netters. So you could get a high-scoring game from one of the teams in that. If you think it's going 6 games, I think you have to consider that bet as well. So that's good. Listen, breaking news, Scott Wetzel. Breaking news. If we had that noise,
the horn,
Colorado Rockies. The Colorado Rockies won a game tonight. 6-4 final in Miami.
Wow.
Is that right? Or yeah, it's it. Hit refresh. It's final. 6-4 final. Rockies win.
Yeah.
Crazy price today. It still doesn't get you even from the season because you're still stuck a bunch if you've been betting them. But my goodness, win number 10 on June 2nd. Break them up. Here they go.
Think about that. They played baseball in March, April, May, June. It took them 4 months to get their 10th win. How crazy is that? We're
Never
still going to do
like
why. I know. We're still going to do why the Colorado suck segment. I don't care if they won tonight or not. So here's the other quirky thing that I found. Is it coincidence or is there something to this? And that is first in hockey, right? You got your glasses on?
Oh, wait.
Guess how many
get the glasses
little,
on. Go ahead.
All right, little pop quiz.
Listening.
How many guys in the Stanley Cup are in the top 50 point total in the regular season?
Ooh. It's not that many. I don't think it's that many.
No.
I don't think Florida has maybe but 1. And I would guess Edmonton has 2 or 3. So I would say 3 or 4 is the number.
Yeah, 3. Only 3. Isn't that
Still got it.
amazing?
Yeah.
It's still pretty good.
Oh, God.
I mean,
it's unbelievable.
And then like here's the quirky other little thing. Like maybe there's something to this. If you think NBA Finals, right? Indiana doesn't have a superstar. I love Halliburton. I take him on my team in a second, but he doesn't average 25, 30 points a game. He's a great player. And it's all, all guys that average 15 to 20. Same thing with OKC, except you got SGA. We'll say McDavid and SGA are the outliers and Draisaitl. But that's really it, even for OKC. So you got 4 teams in their respective finals, and you really only have I'll throw Draisaitl in there because he had 50 goals this year. So you really only have 3 absolute superstar players from their respective leagues, and yet here they are in the finals. Weird? Or is that just maybe a trend now? We don't need the superstar player. We don't need the Anthony Edwards. We don't need the Jokers and the McKinnons and the Pasternaks of the world.
I think that's I don't want to say that's a general statement that you can just make, but I think you're seeing sometimes the sum of the parts is greater than the whole, right? Like if you put this together like this, you can win or at least get to a championship. Now, what OKC's done has been just fantastic. You've been talking about it here on this show, how they win and cover double digits like on the regular. I mean, they won so many games by so many points all season long. What Indiana's done is played the best basketball in the Eastern Conference since January. So they have been just as good as a team. I hope we get a good series. I really do. The total's already reflective of that in game one. Did you see that? We didn't have a total in the 230s all last round. Not one. So I think we're going to get entertaining basketball. I think there'll be tons of props to look at. We'll be, together on Thursday for game one. And I think there'll be opportunities for people to bet. I hope people watch it. This is what, we're going to hear about, right? Nobody's going to watch this NBA Finals. It's going to be one of the lowest rated NBA Finals in recent history. And there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah. And, they're going to throw out all the reasons why, though, right? People are going to throw out, well, we're off for a week, when realistically, we could be having NBA Finals game one tonight, or maybe at worst tomorrow. Instead, OKC's been off forever. Indiana's going to be off almost a week. You're alienating every single casual basketball fan by just killing the sport for a week. And then you talk about the distance or the time between games. Game one is Thursday, off Friday, off Saturday. They're not playing until Sunday. And they have that a couple of times in this series. Hockey does as well, where they drag it out 3 days in between games. And then they're going to say, well, the Knicks and the Lakers and the Celtics aren't involved. This is why. No, that's not why. That might be part of the reason. But they make it just so hard to be a casual fan to be interested in this thing because they drag it out forever.
It's one of those things that, the TV days are locked, so they don't want to change them. I understand that. The dates in the arenas are locked. Okay, that's fine. And it's a different time. I mean, you have kids, I have kids. The attention span is 30 seconds for a lot of people, for a lot of things. So when you stop playing, it's hard to get that back. So hopefully we have an entertaining game one Thursday, a decent game Sunday, and then maybe we'll get it going again and we'll get it back. We'll see. I don't know. The hockey's going to be good. I think we're going to have good hockey games almost every game.
Yeah, I think so as well. All right, baseball screwed up today. We'll talk about that. Check the scoreboard when we come back.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom, it's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those two teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2. Looking at the baseball scoreboard here. Yes, the Colorado Rockies did win 6-4. We'll have our Why Does Colorado monthly segment coming up in 5 minutes. The other games, there's only 7 games today, which is one of my pet peeves. But let me just update the scores. Milwaukee going for its 8th straight win. 3-2, bottom 8, leading at Cincinnati. They're minus 7-1 favorites if you want to take a little flyer. 2 at bats left for the Reds at plus 440. That's not too bad. Angels still 7-5 over the Red Sox, top of the 7th. Then they got a couple of runners on. Boston's not winning that game. And the other one, Dave, is 10-0 Tigers over the White Sox. All the others start later on, next hour.
Yeah,
I
got an update too. Well, I just want to give you a quick update too. For the first time in 4 years, the Oklahoma Sooners are not going to win the Women's College World Series. Texas Tech just walked them off in the bottom of the 7th, 3-2. So Texas Tech moves on. Oklahoma done. Greatest softball dynasty, whatever, ever is done. And Texas Tech was plus 150 tonight. I know that before the game. They are live to win. They have an unbelievable pitcher that can carry it. We were talking during the break about how the pitching matchups can set up a playoff run. These women's fast pitch, softball pitchers, they can go game after game after game after game. Can you imagine if, it could be Skubal and Flaherty and then Skubal and Flaherty in baseball? That would set everything up, all the odds. Everything would change if you didn't have to use the 3 and the 4 starters in a playoff series.
Yeah. By the way, you're a big softball guy. I know your daughters play it, you coach it and everything.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the UCLA Tennessee play?
I can't
She
believe.
touched home plate, Dave. She actually touched home plate.
What part of her foot touched home plate? The first foot stopped before it. The second foot went over it.
The heel. If you watch it closely, the heel of the second foot doesn't touch the top of the plate, but I'm telling you, it touched the black. What is that? About a half inch thick of the plate, and then there's a black barrier.
Wow.
If you look, I look at these things. If you look at her heel does a little giddy up. And the only reason it would do a little giddy up is if she's hitting that black portion, because it's not even with the ground.
I'll have to watch it again because I watched it 100 times. We were watching it with my daughters, and I said, I can't believe she didn't touch home plate. I can't believe she didn't touch home plate. But either way, I'm glad the game didn't end on that. There had to be a way for, it went extra innings. Tennessee won. The softball gods paid off Tennessee that way. They lost today to Texas, so they're out. Did you see that softball hit that dirt off the pitcher's cleat and then go into the catcher's eye? Did you see that? I've never seen. That was unbelievable. I mean, that reminded me of the Randy Johnson hitting the bird,
right.
in spring training. But I have never in my life seen that. It was great.
Was that Randy Johnson or Winfield?
Randy Johnson. Yeah.
It was Randy Johnson? Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, in spring training, he hit that bird.
Ball. And she caught the ball. That's
unbelievable.
The crazy thing. Yeah.
The whole thing was fascinating.
Yeah. But with the review, they go to review and they spend, 5-10 minutes going to review, and then they come back and they say, well, you know what? She missed home plate, but we shouldn't have gone to review because you can't review that. So they spent 10 minutes doing what? I don't know.
Appendix G.
Yeah.
Appendix G.
Yeah.
What is that? No one said to anybody in their headphones or anything, hey, Appendix G says it's not reviewable. Just say it's not reviewable and let's move on. That was very awkward. But I'm glad the right thing was done. This stuff has been great. It's setting up for a really good, final series. So we'll see.
You think about college sports, right? Georgia, the odds-on favorite to win the national championship. They don't even play in the championship game. Dookie Pukies, the odds-on favorite to win the national championship in college basketball. They don't win. Who was the women's team? Not South Carolina. I forget who it was, but they got eliminated. Now the baseball teams are all eliminated, the top 2 teams.
Yeah. Yep.
And now the women's top team being eliminated as well.
Yep.
So about a good year for favorites in college sports.
No. In
Which I
college
guess is
sports,
good.
in the NFL,
Yes.
favorites, in pro sports, it's been chalk, which is why you got minus 700 with OKC.
Right. All right, Colorado did win, but they still stink. Let's see how bad they stink when we come back.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom. It's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those two teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2, as we await the start of the late baseball games. What better time, even on a night in which the Rockies win, to have our monthly How Bad Do the Colorado Rockies Suck? Pay homage to the worst team maybe in the history of baseball. So, little true or false. I'll throw the statement out there, Dave. You tell me if it's true or false. And we went over some of these last month, but let's do them again anyway. All right, on pace to set the worst record ever in the history of baseball. True or false?
Yes, true. That's got to be true. I mean, they only have 9 wins until tonight. They have 10. Yes. Okay, good.
True it is. All right, 9-50. They're on pace for a 25-137 season. 25 wins. Wow. All right. They've won 3 wins in 31 road games heading into tonight.
True.
That is true. They are 3-28 heading into tonight. Again, tonight they win.
Good.
So how all these numbers are based on it. They're on pace, Dave, for 8 wins. They're on pace to not get 10 wins on the road. Again, that would obliterate the record, 17 wins by the Mets and your Pirates. Mets in 63, and then the Pirates in 2010. I mean, just obliterate. Right. 8 wins. Wow. All right. They had the worst shutout loss in baseball history, losing 21-0 to San Diego this year.
I think this is false. I think there was a bigger margin of victory. There we go. How about that?
Yes. False. Cubs actually lost to Pittsburgh, to your Pirates, 22-0 back in 1975, the miracle, magical season of 1975. You're a Red Sox fan.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
All right.
On pace to set the record for most strikeouts in a season are the Colorado Rockies.
Ooh, I will say false. I don't think they're striking out that much. Okay, there you go.
All right, there it is.
All right.
False. They're close, though. It's not like they're that far up. They got 577 heading into tonight. They're on pace for 1,584, which would be 70 less. Remember, we did it last month. It was 100 less. So they're gaining ground on the Minnesota Twins of 2023, which has had 1,654. So here they come. Be careful, Minnesota. All right, number 5 on our list. They have just 5 players hitting above 225. True or false?
5? That's it?
5.
I will say this is true.
It is true.
We're
16 players. 16 players are hitting 225 or lower, including 11 hitting less than 200. I mean, basically half their team, right? Because you're throwing out the pitchers. Half their hitters are hitting less than 200. Wow.
All right. That's inexplicable.
Speaking of pitchers, they have just 2 pitchers whose ERA is below 3, which is kind of the benchmark for pitchers, right?
I'll say this is true. I mean, the starters don't have anywhere close to that. Yeah, there you go. Wow.
Yeah.
2 pitchers, they probably used 15 so far this season, I would guess. 15, 16, 17 seems to be the league average of number of pitchers they used at this point. 2 guys below 3?
2 guys.
Not good.
Yeah. In fact, 19 pitchers they've used with ERAs of 3.14 or higher. 15 with ERAs of 4 or higher. So it's not even like they have close to 3. All right, number 7. They have a minus, again, heading into tonight, a minus 185 run differential, which means the opposing teams have scored 185 more runs than Colorado has. They are on pace to set the worst run differential in the history of baseball. True or false?
I will say this is true. They are getting outscored and whacked. Oh, this is false. Okay.
Well, it's a little trick question, but they're on pace for minus 507 runs being outscored.
And there's something worse than that?
Well, in 1899, the Spiders, I'm not sure which city they were from, were outscored by 723 runs. The modern day record is my beloved Red Sox in 1932, who were outscored by 345. So they're on pace to obliterate the modern day record when baseball was real. So
Cleveland Spiders, I believe it was, by the way. I think it was Cleveland Spiders. Right. Yeah.
I think it was the Cleveland. Yeah, I keep on saying Richmond. I know it's not Richmond. That's the basketball team. So Colorado has lost all 19 series this season.
True. Yeah, there's no way with 9 wins there's no way they could have won a series. That would have been the biggest shock so far of all these true false questions. No way.
Yeah. In fact, they haven't won 2 games in a series since taking 2 out of 3 from Arizona last September. 22 straight losing series.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well, they won tonight, and they're dogs again tomorrow against Sandy Alcantara, plus 150, 155 tomorrow. So they could they could take care of that one. What's next?
Yeah. Colorado's been favored only 7 times all season. Well, in fact, 7 times in their last 221 games. So dating back to last year.
Wow. I mean, as a former odds maker and still current out of work odds maker, I would normally say this has to be false, but I'm going to say this is true. Oh, I should have stuck with my first answer. Okay.
Well,
damn it.
It's false. It's false only because they've only been favored 5 times, not 7 in their last 221 games. I'd like to know who they were. 5.
5 times?
That's a season and a half, folks. There's 162 games in a season. So you duck that, and then another 60 plus. Yeah, 5 times in a season and a half.
Probably the White
Miami
Sox.
at home. White Sox maybe
Probably
last
the White
year.
Sox.
At home.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Last one. We went over this one. You had this one actually for me. But Colorado's lost 8 straight This is their longest losing streak this decade.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That
believe
is
it or
true.
not, as bad
Yes.
as they are, and it came through again tonight. I wanted to leave it on a 9 straight negatives for Colorado. I wanted to kind of leave it on a positive, and the positive is, as bad as they've been, they have not lost more than 8 in a row, which is a lot. But you get teams that lose 9, 10 in a row all the time, and somehow or another they've been able to avoid it, and they did it again today. They've lost 8 in a row. I think it's 3 times this year. I think it is. And then this goes back to all the way back to 2020. I looked it up. They have not lost more than 8 in a row this decade. Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, 4 times this season. It's only June 2nd.
Okay.
It's 4 times this season they've had 8-game losing streaks and didn't lose the 9th. So crazy, crazy stuff. By the way, I got to shout out my boy, Greg. He's watching his college baseball. It's 1-1 LSU in Little Rock right now in the second inning. Dawson mentioned to us that he's got LSU minus 5.5. But Little Rock's been a darling in this thing. The total in this is 14. He says it's going over. He said, tell Wetzel and all your audience that the game's going over tonight. So enjoy the game while you're watching us. LSU, Little Rock, over 14.
I'll put that on right now. So FanDuel's got it at 13.5. You got 1-1 still in the first inning. So they're giving you a break. How about that? Yeah.
Yep.
How about this? Major League Baseball, listen, this hits home to me because my sister passed away of Lou Gehrig's disease less than a year ago. So today's Lou Gehrig Day, right? So they want to honor Lou Gehrig and him passing ALS disease and all that other stuff. And I get it. He died on this day, so you're going to pick June 2nd. But there's only 7 games today, Dave. And you may say, well, it is what it is. They picked the day he died. I get that. But you know what? I looked it up. Other Mondays this season, 11, 14, 10, 8, 8, 10, 12, 12, 12, 9, 7, 9, 8, 10. They get the fewest games on a day they picked to honor the poor guy.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom, and say, you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those 2 teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2. We got some baseball. We got some college baseball as well that we can pass along to our good buddy, Mr. Cam Stewart, who takes over along with Gabe Morency at the top of the hour. He joins us now. What's going on, Cam? How are you today, bud?
Pretty good, Scott. Just for all you watching the Boston-LA game, Boston trying to make a comeback here. It's now 7-6. The Angels popped up a 6 spot with 3 home runs. That's hard to do, and Boston just lingering in this game right now. Solo shot, I think it was Devers. I think we got that. So we got a 1-run game there. College baseball action. This is a team that I'm taking, guys. They're very, very good. And the line's kind of telling you, even though it was 1-0, it's, what is it right now? It was $1.30. I think it's a little bit more than now at 146. I like Southern Miss over Miami, Florida. Southern Miss knocked out Alabama. Very good team from the SEC. I watched these guys. They won the last game against them 17-6. And I know sometimes usually you come back to a team after they got throttled, but it's a long baseball game, and I think Southern Miss is better. So give me the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles against the Miami Hurricanes tonight in college baseball. Dave, I agree with your buddy. There should be lots of runs in that Little Rock LSU game. The College Baseball World Series has been fantastic. Lots of crazy underdog stuff so far. Some of these small schools. It's a great tournament. Very similar to the college basketball. We see even more nuts upsets in this baseball tournament. It's awesome, Dave. You must be loving it because it's great. And I know we talked to Gamblu about it. More people are betting on it. We're all into it. It's a lot of fun. This College Baseball World Series is awesome.
Without a doubt, it's been good. 7 games today in baseball, in Major League Baseball. Couple good ones out west. I wanted to ask you, first about the Mets and the Dodgers, because we saw the Dodgers take 2 or 3, put up a couple big numbers against the Yankees. Yankees salvaged the series, winning on Sunday. Now the Mets come in, and this number, I don't know if it looks suspiciously light or if it looks right. I really don't know. The total screams over to me, but what about you?
I agree, Dave.
Side total.
I like the over.
Yep.
The first thing I looked with Blackburn and May, I looked at over 9.5. The Dodgers got smoked last night by the Yankees. We watched that game, but I think it could be a bounce back time with their bats. We don't know what we're going to get from Blackburn, the Mets starter tonight. May will give up a few, so I kind of agree with you. 9.5 looks good. The Mets could be live, but I like the total more than anything in this game. So over 9.5. Minnesota. I don't know what's going to happen with Oakland. All I know is one thing. I watched that Blue Jays series, and all they do is give up runs. This team just gets absolutely like the Jays couldn't hit till they met Oakland. Every single game of the series went over. Some games were almost over in the first inning, Dave. I'm looking, I'm like 5-3. The total's 8.5, like in the first inning. I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah. And the Jays were down, and then they come back, and it was a great series for them. Usually they lose to teams. At the Athletics. I got to stop calling these guys Oakland. The Athletics. I don't know what they're going to do heading back from Canada. They're at home against Minnesota, a team that's lost 2. I'll lay 1.5 with Minnesota. They're also in a parlay piece, but I think the Twins will get it done tonight. Over in that Dodger-Met game. And the other game, I really don't have an opinion on. Do I want to lay 80 cents? No, I don't. I don't want to lay 80 cents with the Giants tonight, but I also don't like the other side. So Southern Miss for me, over 9.5 in the Mets-Dodgers game, and Minnesota minus 1.5 also in a parlay.
I'll tell you this about the A's. For the month of May, they had the worst ERA in baseball, even worse than Colorado, 6.88. They gave up 56 home runs. And this 1-17 streak, Cam, they've given up 143 runs, only scored 62, including 44 homers they've given up in 18 games. I mean, you said it, man. They can't pitch at all.
It's crazy. Like, they had guys on the Jays just walking up and teeing off. Like, I'm talking long bombs, too. Like, their bullpen was atrocious. Kind of like what we talk about with the Angels. Just an interesting broadcast tonight on NESN talking about their bullpen with an ERA over 6 and 30th in MLB. So I guess, when the Angels are up, you can kind of take the other side live. Good things to know when you're looking at the back end there. And Boston right now is right back in this game after being down 6 runs. That's the beauty of baseball. If you want to get a team, you hope the other team scores multiple times in early innings, and then you can come back and kind of go the other way. So I know this game's already hit the over, 7-6 Angels, and Boston batting right now, 2 outs, nobody on. But Dave, I think the over in that Mets game is something that I'm looking at, and I really like Southern Miss in college baseball. Those are my.
I got to ask you, over the weekend, Scotty Scheffler again.
Oh, I told you, it's over now. It's done. It's done.
It's unbelievable.
It's done. It's done. It's done, Dave. I don't know what to say anymore. You can't bet this guy. I find the book. The first thing I go and look, is he playing this week? Thank God. I could play the Canadian Open without Scottie Scheffler. Stay at home with your children. Your baby's been on TV more than half of the guys on the PGA Tour because he wins every damn week.
Right.
I'm like, oh, child and wife, here they come. Here comes Scottie. Anyway, this guy's a menace to society in the golf betting world. He wins every week. Got to hand it to him. But now, Dave, we've reached the point. Without Scheffler betting. Always, he's in the tournament. It's worse than Tiger Woods now. I'm there. The only time you could not take Scottie Scheffler, maybe, is in the U.S. Open coming up in a couple of weeks. He'll be there, but other guys will step up in majors. But any other damn tournament that he's playing in,
unreal.
It's unreal. Like, you get Sepp Straka, he's right there, gag job. Canadian Nick Taylor puts one in the drink. I'm like, oh, here comes Ben Griffin, the pride of North Carolina, and he takes a bogey. Like, Scottie Scheffler's just sitting there watching every single golfer crumble in front of him. You want to get in the party? He's plus 270. Can't bet him at that price.
For the kids, Cam, that don't remember, is this Tiger-like? Is this
it's more than Tiger-like now? It's actually Tiger lost once in a while. I think this for regular tournaments, Dave. I got to break this stuff down. Like, we got to put this in the supercomputer. I got to be honest with you. I think Scheffler wins more of a percentage now than Tiger Woods used to win. Like, this is nuts. Every single week, and he's teeing it up. Tiger used to beat Ernie Els, Vijay Singh. There was like 20 guys on tour that were now. Scottie's going into it against like legitimate 40, 50 guys every week, like world-class players. He just waits for them to fail. This guy's got ice water in his veins. He doesn't have nerves. He doesn't have nerves. All these guys in the tournament, I just watch them. They just fail. Guys just laughing at these guys. By the way, Dave, I actually hit one in the women's U.S. Open. Maya Stark, the pride of Sweden. I hit her live on Sunday because Nelly Korda was the favorite, and this girl was amazing. So golf went pretty good, except for Scheffler. Wetzel, I've learned my lesson. Without Scheffler, that's the way we go now. Or you bet him at 2-1 and just say, I can't bet anybody else. Those are your decisions to make, Dave. We're done. No, there's no other way to go. There's no...
Amazing.
I don't know what to say anymore. The guy takes a lot of money.
Don't lack more to say. Top of the hour. Thanks, Jeff.
Go, Scheffler.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom. It's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those two teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave wrapping up shop again. Thanks to Cam Stewart, along with Gabe Morency at the top of the hour in 5 minutes. They'll take over for the next two here on SportsGrid TV, SportsGrid Radio as well. And we were talking obviously about the golf day, but boy, what a great week this is in sports. A lot, for secondary sports as well. You got a good little combination. You got the Stanley Cup beginning Wednesday. You get the NBA Finals beginning Thursday. You got the French Open Finals. Saturday is the women's. Sunday is the men. You got the Belmont, which should be pretty good this year, right? You're going to have the Kentucky Derby winner, Sovereignty, and then you're going to have the Preakness winner, Journalism. So, a lot of times they go their separate ways, but they're actually going to hook up. So it's at Saratoga this year, not here on Long Island. So, but that should be good for horse racing fans. You get a little bit of everything this week. It's really a pretty good week.
It is a good week. I enjoy this time of year. A lot of people, will just kind of either mail it in, take vacations and stuff like this. As we approach the finals of the hockey and the basketball, it's good. We get the horse race, which will match the two top horses, which we didn't get to see in the Preakness. So that'll be fun. Like you said, we're gearing up for another major, which I feel bad even mentioning Scotty Scheffler and what he did. After Cam just said, I mean,
think it's funny.
Guy's unbelievable.
But I think it's funny though. You get these guys, they want to throw, like, God bless them, right? Bet whatever you want, but they want to throw like 7, 8, pieces in, hoping you hit one of them when you just collect all that money and bet it on Scheffler. We had Brady Cannon on yesterday, me and Joe Madden, and he said it. It's either making it more difficult for gamblers or it's making it more easier. Just bet Scheffler. I mean, if I gave you a football winner or baseball winner or basketball winner that was plus 250, 270, you'd say, where do I sign? That's what we're kind of getting with Scheffler in these tournaments that really matter.
It takes 4 days to get the cash, but instead of one. But that's the problem. But it still wins. What he's doing is unprecedented. And obviously since Tiger really did it, but Tiger didn't play in all these regular tournaments, like Cam just said. By the way, guys watching the show, he's at Cisco Time on Twitter. He said the Rockies tagged both of us here. Rockies are on pace to have a better record than only 5 NBA teams from the 24-25 season. The difference in basketball, they only play 82 games and half their players. Wow. I mean, what? Is that possible? Only 5 NBA teams? They'll have better record than?
Well,
that is crazy.
If you want to say they're gonna have 25, 30 wins, then you got Washington at 18, Charlotte 19, Utah 17, and New Orleans 21. So Philadelphia 24. So those would be the 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
they're going to get more than those 5. Aren't they going to get in the 30s?
I think so. When everything is said and done, like, the crazy thing is they have some pitchers like this Marquise dude. He's been actually halfway decent in his career. Not great by any stretch, but he's been okay. Kyle Freeland's been okay. Sensatella there, he's been okay. Then it kind of drops off from there. But I would think I got to look at their June schedule here. You said it was 9.5, right?
It's not good. Yeah, that's what it was on DraftKings. Saw that number earlier today. Yeah, total wins for Rockies 9.5. They got 1, but I don't think they. I don't think they go over. I don't think they get 10. If you look at that schedule, I don't think they go. We'll go over it tomorrow. Mets or Dodgers tonight? What do you like?
I like the Dodgers. I don't like betting on pitchers coming off the disabled list. Paul Blackburn, decent pitcher, but first time pitching this season. Dodger bats. No Mookie, though, so that's not going to help the Dodger cause. But I still like the Dodgers. I think they win.
8-2 in their last 10 right there for the Mets.
Yep.
6-0 to the over in the last 6 games for the Dodgers. I think we get runs tonight. So, I don't know. I'll be watching that. The Padres and the Giants are into the bottom of the first. How many Ks did your man Logan Webb get in the first inning? None,
unfortunately. But only 9 pitches, I think I saw. So, no runs. So, we'll just throw that inning away. So,
that's fine.
We'll get to the bottom of the order. Yeah, just
getting loose.
Get to the bottom of the order.
Loose.
Yeah, just get loose. He's good for 5. Definitely good for 5. So, and then we get no French Open tennis even tonight. I'm looking for a couple of guys I can put in parlays, but
just go make dinner and go to sleep.
Yeah, I made it already. Ahead of the game, as usual. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Dave.